Welcome to today's episode where I'm going to talk about the actual gaming data as it relates to Nevada and going with the most recent data that I can find from October 2024. So let's take a look at this right here. So if you see here, they have all of the table games and slot machine dominations for all non-restricted locations. So if we look at it, there are 4,929 table games in all of Nevada and 126,633 slot machines. Now, overall, return to player is a little bit 92.8% for slot machines, and for table games, it's going down to about 86%. So I know that kind of bucks the traditional trend that slot machines are the worst and table games are the best. Of course, there's always outliers to that, and I think it's important to remember to play within your means and what you enjoy playing. So let's take a look at 21, Blackjack. For the last 12 months, the casino has had $1.3 billion won on Blackjack, and the casino had a 14.22% win. Now we think to ourselves, the Blackjack payback, that is such a low, it's such a good game to play, like 99.5% in a perfect situation, and it can actually be beatable. But why is the casino winning 14%, 86% return to player? Number one, Blackjack is perfect strategy. We all know that Blackjack players think they know what they're doing, but the reality is a lot of them don't. But also remember, there's this prevalence of 6-5 Blackjack. 6-5 Blackjack is terrible. Don't play it. Don't encourage places to play it. I know when I first time I played it, it was at Paris, Las Vegas, and I was like, hey, why didn't I get paid 3-2? And they're like, no, we're doing 6-5. And I thought to myself, that's it. I'm done. I will not play 6-5 Blackjack, which seems unusual because I play a lot of slot machines, but it's just one of those things where 6-5 Blackjack, it's encouraging the casinos to take advantage of people. Now let's take a look. You think to yourself, like, okay, we got Let It Ride here at 25% house edge, meaning the players are getting a 75% return to player. That's unheard of for a slot machine. 85% is you hear is the minimum. But again, there's so much volatility in those house games. There's all these side bets. So the actual win in October 2024, they won a total of $1.2 billion, and the average return to player, they actually had a percent, which is a percentage loss. It decreased in Las Vegas. The overall take for all of it was 7.55. Now, when you go to a casino, what do you think you should play? I look at this and see that for all of these months preceding this, for the last 2-3 years, the revenue has just grown, but I really think that the economy is starting to get a little bad, and that's why we're seeing a decrease in revenue. I've been reading some reports that say outside of Nevada and some other places, like the Midwest casinos actually have had a pretty bad year. And I've talked with some casinos, and they're like, yeah, in fact, it's not a great year. But part of that reason is the economy's bad, recession is high, and they're also offering games that are not as good to the players as they should be. I take a look at this data, and we'll take a look later on at some of the Atlantic City data, just to give you a comparison. But it feels like the casinos, I know, poor casinos, they're struggling, but it is an indication to me that the economy in the gaming world is getting a little bit tougher and more competitive, and as a result, hopefully we'll see better offers to get us into the casinos. I know for myself now, I have hosts in Atlantic City, I have hosts in Mississippi, Colorado, and Nevada, and the offers are getting pretty aggressive to get me to come out and gamble. All right, so the data in New Jersey is a little bit different. They report it by casino. So let's take a look at this. This is Bally's AC. So their table games, they had a $1.18 million win. Their win for the casino was 9.8%, which ironically, if we take a look at that slot machine, they had 8.9 million in revenue or win from that. Again, the win-loss was 9.8%. It seems very unusual that 9.8% is the hold for the casino on both slots and table games, but it shows you there's a little bit more of an evening there. But year to date, if we look down at text section 6, the gross revenue on table games is $30 million. They've won $104 million on slot machines, and the year-to-date casino win is 135 million. Now that's one of the lower performing casinos. Let's take a look at another one. Now here is Borgata. They are the #1 casino in Atlantic City when it comes to profit and revenue. Their table games, they won $13 million and they won 15.4%. So think about that. They had a hold of about 85% return to player on their table games. And conversely, they won $42 million on slot machines. The win hold there was 9%, meaning 91% average payback to players. Now for the total year, they're at $190 million of profit on table games and $484 million on slot machines for a total of $675 million. Now, what do you think of this?